Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks.
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
Don, I got you.
Do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud. Am I in the air? Sunday nights, prime time. I flex my better. Voltron transform to DX Don. Mega and off-scene. You probably think I'm nice, cause I slow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. How short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about, I tune in and tune the rest out. Done. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air.
Hi, am I on the air?
Welcome back, my friends, to another brand new edition of Am I on the Air? I'm your host, Don Mega, and I welcome you to the show. It is Monday. It's February the 25th, 2019. It's season 18, episode 6, and tonight's show is titled, This Is My House. That is right, and this is Am I on the Air? This is your one-stop shop for all the latest and greatest in entertainment news, TVs, movies, the whole nine. This is where you come to get your information. So, with that being said, let's talk about tonight's show. We're going to talk Oscars. Of course, you know, that went down last night, the biggest night in movie awards nights. You know, it's all about the Academy Awards. It's all about winning an Oscar. Those are the films that are celebrated to being the best of the best all year round. It's a pretty decent show. No host. Pretty interesting. But you know what? I felt like it actually moved along at a pretty good pace because they didn't have to bounce around back and forth to a host. But we'll get to the Oscars and highlight, going through pretty quickly, the winners to celebrate those as we get into it. And of course, the last week in everything that's gone down in television and movie news. But like we always like to do in the beginning of an episode, it's get into the movie reviews. Let's talk about the hotness that's at the box office, new releases. What did I think about them? I have two non-spoiler reviews for you here tonight. I'll keep it non-spoiler for you guys. Don't you worry. Won't give anything away. But, you know, two new releases that I got to go see this past weekend. I'll be talking about. One is Fighting with My Family, and the second is How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. Alright, so let's start off with Fighting with My Family. This movie is something I've been looking forward to for quite some time. It is the true story about the WWE wrestler Paige. Now, for those of you who've been listening to me for any amount of time, you know I am a massive WWE fan. I'm a massive wrestling fan. And Paige, I'm a big fan of Paige. She is one of the best women's wrestlers that have ever been. Just such a unique character. And this is the true story about how she rose through the ranks, coming from this little town in England and then getting a tryout with WWE, getting signed, going to NXT, and then of course making her main roster debut and winning the Divas Championship. Now, this was an interesting movie for me to watch due to the fact that I am such a big fan, and I've watched a lot of her story unfold as it just did normally. So watching how it was portrayed on a movie sometimes was a little hard for me to disconnect where they were taking liberties, where they were trying to really amp up the story, amp up the emotion. Some characters' names stayed the same, but other characters' names were changed, which that kind of drove me nuts. But you know, I can't let those little nitpicks take away from the story. It's a fantastic story about a great wrestling family who just wanted to be successful. And the story follows Paige and her brother, who both get a tryout with WWE, but WWE only takes Paige. And she's not happy about it in the beginning. Of course, it strikes some problems with the family because the brother, that's his dream too, and he doesn't get the opportunity, and she kind of fails at the opportunity at first. The movie is heartwarming, it's touching, it's a great family dynamic. Nick Frost, Lena Headey playing the parents, Florence Pugh, who I've never seen before, she plays Paige, and she did it so perfectly. The Rock, of course, pops up a couple times playing himself, which is always fantastic. This is directed by Stephen Merchant, who also has a cameo in the movie. Vince Vaughn is in here as the NXT coach. I really enjoyed the film. I really did. Like I said, there is some nitpicks that I have just because I was there for some of this stuff and I watched a lot of it unfold on television, and it made me watch it as a movie going, it didn't quite happen that way, or why did they glance over this or that? I wish the story would have gone a little bit further, to be honest, because if you don't know, Paige, that the movie follows, she had to retire last year due to a neck injury. And it would have been smart, I think, if the movie would have just kind of scaled forward a little bit and actually showed that she got hurt and she had to retire. Or even if it would have just been a little blurb at the end about how, unfortunately her career came to an end, and but she's still working with the WWE in other capacities, stuff like that. I just felt like there was more to the story to be told. And who knows, maybe they held back on purpose because they want to do a sequel. Who knows? I'm just speculating at this point. But overall, it's a really funny movie. It's doing great with critics. It has an A cinema score. Just really being a very loved film so far. For me, I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was very good. It doesn't quite reach 4 stars for me. I wouldn't say it was awesome and you got to run out and see it. But it's a really good movie, so maybe 3.5 stars, something kind of right in that middle spot. That's my take on Fighting With My Family. I would go 3 to 3.5 out of 5 stars for it. I've had some people ask me like, why is your rating so low? And, you're one of the harshest critics on it. And I don't really feel that 3 or 3.5 stars is a really low score for the film. It's good. I mean, if I was a Rotten Tomatoes reviewer, it would be fresh. I just, like I said, it never quite hits a 4 or 5 star film, because it's still kind of laggy at times, and the pacing's off at certain moments, but overall, it's a really good, solid film that tells a great story. So, that's where it gets what it gets. And of course, it did bring it down for me. If I was talking spoilers on here, I would go into some things. If you do follow me on Stardust and you don't mind spoilers, I actually did 2 Stardust videos for this movie. I did a non-spoiler, and then I did a spoiler one where I kind of vented my biggest frustration about the film. Once again, if you follow me on Stardust, check me out. If you don't, go to the Stardust app and look me up. I'm under simply Don Mega, DonMega, and check out my spoiler and non-spoiler review of Fighting With My Family on Stardust. If you're wondering what the hell I'm even talking about, this is an app that you can go download. You can watch 30-second mini reviews for TV shows, movies, and trailers, everything. So I do a lot of reviews on Stardust, so check me out on there. All right, my second review is for How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Now, I'm going to be upfront here. I did not even see How to Train Your Dragon 1 or 2. I'm not a big animated movie guy. I just don't really care for the most part. And then on top of that, I don't like Vikings, I don't like dragons, and just this franchise never appealed to me. So I just didn't care. Now fast forward, I have a daughter. She's 5 years old. She loves all these kind of movies. So she loved the trailer. She wanted to go see this movie. So of course, being the great dad that I am, I took her to go see this film. And I have to admit, I had a great time watching it. I thought it was a fantastic movie. The relationship between Hiccup and Toothless is so good. Toothless is one of the coolest dragons, coolest characters I've seen in an animated film before. I fell in love with this dragon instantly. The animation is so just superb and beautiful. The movie popped so hard. It's got hell of emotion. It had me weeping like a little baby at the end of the film. My daughter loved it. My daughter gave it 5 stars. As soon as we got home, she wanted to watch the first 2 movies that are unfortunately not streaming anywhere, so I had to go buy them on Vudu so I could add them to my streaming collection. But I do now own the first 2 films, so I will go back and I will give a watch to the first 2 movies because I was so genuinely taken back at how much I enjoyed this film. It's supposedly the last of it's a trilogy and it's the last of the movies, and they're wrapping up the franchise, and it definitely feels like it wraps up at the end of the movie. And my hat's off to them, man. They did a hell of a franchise that is very well loved, and I think they had a great send off here with this film. So I can't recommend it enough, man. If you got kids, you should be running out to go watch How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. I also instantly ordered a Toothless and Bright Fairy plush dolls of the dragons for my daughter, so that'll come later this week, and she's going to be so super stoked. So a Bright Flurry, I forgot what the hell they call the damn thing, but this the new white dragon, and then of course Toothless is the black one. So I got those ordered, and she's going to have a blast with those later this week. Excellent movie. Can't say enough good things about it. I would give How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World 4 out of 5 stars. Great job there, and really won me over to a new franchise, so that's always great. On a quick couple side notes, when it turns to TV, I am currently binging, well, I can't say binging because they only do 1 episode a week, but over on the DC Universe streaming app, they finally started Doom Patrol, and I'm on the 2nd episode. I just actually finished the 2nd episode before I started recording here tonight. And I'm really loving it. It is a weird show, though. It's very weird. It's very quirky. My wife has watched the first 2 episodes with me, and she's about out at this point. She's like, this show is way too much for me, and she doesn't really care for it. I think it's fantastic. I like how weird it is. I like the quirkiness of it. Episode 2 has Cyborg being introduced into the group. I love all these characters. I just think they're super unique, and it's a show that's very different than everything else you've seen on TV. So I'm loving it, man. DC Universe, you guys are doing a great job with your original content. And then speaking of original content, I'm also in the middle of a binge on Russian Doll over on Netflix. It's 8 episodes. We've watched the first 4, and I'm really torn on it. A lot of people are loving this thing, rave reviews all the way around. I don't think it's all that great, though, to be honest. It's okay. I will say I am intrigued to continue watching and see where it goes. And one of my good friends has already finished the show, and he says where I'm at in the show is where it starts to turn to be really good. So I hope so, because I'm struggling up to this point. But it stars Natasha Lyonne, and she basically, it's like a Groundhog's Day thing. She keeps dying and then has to relive the day. But there's more twists and turns to it, I guess. But so far, it's just kind of crude and over the top, and I don't really get it. But I'm hoping it'll take a stronger turn here in the second half. So we'll see. I like the people involved with it, and I hear good things, so I'm hoping it'll really win me over by the time it's done. So there's just a couple little shout-outs there from a TV perspective of what I'm kind of getting into on top of all the normal programming that we're watching. I can't wait to see the finale of Masked Singer, too, by the way, this week. I want to see who the hell's under all these other masks. I think we're going to find out the identity of everybody. It's the finale this week. So that was kind of a completely different side note. I don't know why that even popped in my mind right now, but if you haven't seen Masked Singer, check it out. All right, let's switch gears. Let's get into the news, and we're going to start right off at the Oscars. I don't want to waste any time. Let's just run through the winners of all the categories that went down last night. We won't spend a ton of time talking about it. Just going to talk winners, and then we'll move on with the news, okay? So, for documentary feature, it went to Free Solo. For actress in a supporting role, it went to Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk. For makeup and hairstyling, it went to Greg Canham and Kate Biscoe and Patricia Dehaney for Vice. Costume design went to Ruth E. Carter for Black Panther. Production design went to Hannah Belchler and Jay Hart for Black Panther. Cinematography went to Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. Sound editing went to John Wardhurst for Bohemian Rhapsody. Sound mixing went to Paul Massey, Tim Cavaghan, and John Casali for Bohemian Rhapsody. Foreign language film went to Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. Film editing went to John Ottman for Bohemian Rhapsody. Actor in a supporting role went to Marshala Ali for Green Book. Animated feature film went to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Awesome stuff there. Congratulations. Animated short film went to Domi Shi for Bao. Documentary short subject went to Period, End of the Sentence. Visual effects went to First Man. And this is the one where I call complete bullshit. Out of everything that was nominated for visual effects, you went with First Man? Really? First of all, it should have hands down went to Infinity War, because there ain't no better visual effect movie than Infinity War. Thanos himself deserves the Oscar for visual effect. Also nominated was Ready Player One and Solo, a Star Wars story, all hands down above and beyond First Man, so get out of here with that crap. Live action short film went to Skin. Best original screenplay went to Green Book. Best adapted screenplay went to Spike Lee, Sean McKittrick, Jason Blum, Raymond Mansfield, Jordan Peele for Black Klansman. Original score went to Ludwig Göransson for Black Panther. Original song went to Lady Gaga for Shallow from A Star Is Born. And that performance with her and Bradley Cooper was outstanding. Best actor in a leading role went to my man Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. Ayo! And then Best Actress in a leading role went to Olivia Colman for The Favorite. And Best Director went to Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. And finally, Best Picture of the Year went to Green Book. So that is your 2019 Oscar complete list of everything that went down there. Okay? So with that being said, now let's switch gears. Let's get into the news of the week. Now, remember, if you're looking for further information, you're looking to watch any of the trailers we're talking about, all of this stuff is up on our social media. You should be following us on Twitter at Am I On The Air, or checking us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Am I On The Air. You can find all this stuff on our social media, okay? And of course, some of the trailer stuff you can find on our exclusive webpage, amiontheair.com. So, with that being said, Netflix released the first trailer for The Dirt. And The Dirt is the Motley Crue biopic film, which I am so excited for. They made a movie of Motley Crue's book, The Dirt, which is just it's a worldwide bestseller. I'm a massive Motley Crue fan, and I am so stoked to see this movie. It comes out March 22nd on Netflix, and I am so there, man. I want to see their story told in a movie. I don't even know how they're going to fit this thing into a 2-hour film, but they're going to try it. I love the trailer, and I can't wait to see this movie. So check out the trailer for The Dirt. I hope you listened to last week's episode of Am I On The Air. It was called I'd Rather Rule in Hell Than Serve in Heaven, talking about the awesome movie Alita, which you should be going out and donating some of your money to, because I need that box office to fill up so I can get my sequel. All right? If you haven't listened to it yet, of course, head on over to amiontheair.com, reddragonsradio.com, and check out our last episode. You can also, of course, stream all our episodes on Spotify and all that good stuff. All right, back to the news. The Banana Splits. Yes, I don't know if you remember that, but it's very old school. Hanna-Barbera did a series of it, and they're actually going to revive it, but this time it's going to be as a horror movie. Very interesting. We'll see how that plays out. Alicia Witt signs on for Orange is the New Black's final season. The Storyteller. Jim Henson's The Storyteller. Neil Gaiman and the Jim Henson Company are doing a reimagining anthology version of The Storyteller. Excuse me. Barry Season 2 is set to premiere in March over on HBO. Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield are in talks for a new movie called Jesus Was My Homeboy. In some interesting almost was casting news, James Cameron said that Chris Evans and Channing Tatum were super close to playing Jake Sully, the main character in Avatar, which of course the role ended up going to Sam Worthington. But pretty interesting to hear that Chris Evans and Channing Tatum were so close to almost nabbing that role. Mike Coulter, Mr. Luke Cage himself, has signed on for a new pilot. Yes, he's going to CBS, and he's got a new drama pilot for a show called Evil. So we'll see how that goes. Congratulations to Mike Coulter, and hopefully, I don't want to wish any non-success to this show, but I need him to be available for when Hulu picks up Luke Cage and wants to bring the show back. Netflix's On My Block Season 2 will premiere this March. Amazon's The Man in the High Castle is going to end with Season 4, so this show will be wrapping up. The whaling drama The North Water has added Colin Farrell to star in the film. Dee Johnson has been set as the showrunner for Hulu's The Vampire Chronicles series. Arrested Development Season 5 Part 2 will be premiering in March over on Netflix. Amazon's Wheel of Time, the new show that they're doing, Uda Breswitz is going to direct the first 2 episodes of that. We have everything coming and going to Amazon Prime Video in March, so check that out. Green Eggs and Ham, the Dr. Seuss series, is coming to Netflix. Gwyneth Paltrow supposedly rumored to exit the MCU after Avengers Endgame, so very interesting there that she might be bowing out once Endgame airs, so we'll see how that goes. There were a ton of rumors going around that Armie Hammer is going to be the next Batman. There was an interview with Armie, and he says, no, it's not true. Nobody's contacted me, and it's not happening. So that's what he's saying. Of course, you could never believe an actor, because that's also what Joaquin Phoenix said for many, many months. And guess what? He was the Joker, even though he said, no, I'm not the Joker. Nobody ever talked to me. I don't know why we just don't get that actors are sworn to secrecy and they can't talk about this kind of stuff. So to me, an actor debunking a role doesn't really mean much, but we'll see what ends up happening with the new Batman. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is hitting digital tomorrow, and I've already pre-ordered it, and I'm already ready to watch it again. The Oscar-winning, Academy Award-winning animated film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Too bad my boy Friggins is going to have to wait 4 more weeks to watch it on disc when he decides to pick it up, because he's so old school and can't just order the movie digitally like the rest of us. But yeah, if you don't want to wait like the rest of us, pre-order it and check it out tomorrow on digital. Jeff Loeb, the showrunner for all the Marvel television shows, he penned a letter to Marvel television fans after the Netflix cancellation. So check out his article. It's pretty interesting. He basically says, you know, with everything Marvel, where nothing's ever gone forever, and you'll see these guys again. So what does that mean? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, check out what he has to say. David Dastmalchian is set to play Peter de Vries in Denis Villeneuve's Dune reboot. So Dune continues to hire more and more and more. You could check out the first trailer for the Michael Jackson documentary Leaving Neverland. That is out now, and you can check that out. It looks pretty interesting. The CW's Batwoman pilot has found its Kate Kane's father, Jacob Kane. And yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. It's the original Wolverine finally getting into the comic book land. Yes. Oh, excuse me. Doug Ray Scott. Doug Ray Scott, who of course was, fun fact for you guys, supposed to be Wolverine in X-Men 1, but due to his filming as the villain on Mission Impossible 2, he could not get to the X-Men set and had to drop out of the movie for scheduling conflicts. And then a little man named Hugh Jackman signed on, and the rest is history. But Doug Ray Scott is back. He has joined the CW Batwoman pilot as Jacob Kane, Kate Kane / Batwoman's military father. So very cool casting there for the Batwoman pilot. Emma Thompson has left the Skydance movie Luck because of John Lasseter being hired over at the company. She doesn't want to work with him, so she has left the film. We have the first season 2 trailer for Cloak and Dagger, which also introduces the character Mayhem. I really liked season 1 of Cloak and Dagger. I watched this trailer for season 2 and was blown away. I think season 2 looks incredible. It looks way more action-packed, and I cannot wait to see season 2. And Mayhem looks awesome. So, yeah, check out Cloak and Dagger if you haven't. Going back to... I don't know if we talked about this. Oh, no, we did. We talked about it on last week's show. Sorry. We actually have an article up with John Bernthal and Kristen Ritter talking about the cancellation of their shows. So, yeah, remember Jessica Jones and The Punisher have been canceled over on Netflix, and we have some reactions from them. So check that out. Still sad to see those go. Speaking of canceled, Night Flyers has also been canceled over on the Sci-Fi Channel after just one season. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is going to be traveling in season 3. Netflix has ordered Medical Police series from the Children's Hospital team, so that's pretty interesting. Looks like it's got some good casting going on. Empire is going to be cutting back on Jussie Smollett's scenes after the investigation continues into his hoax that is going on, and he might even be cut and completely recast. We'll have to see what ends up happening over on Empire. I'm very sad about this next news. Friends from College has been canceled after 2 seasons over on Netflix. I love Friends from College. I actually just finished binging season 2. I was about 1 or 2 episodes away from finishing season 2 when the news came out that the show was canceled. And I was like, come on. I was so disappointed. This is a show that I just love the ensemble of it. Keegan-Michael Key, Kobe Smulders, Fred Savage, Billy Eichner. It goes on and on and on. So many good people. It's a great ensemble. It's a drama, but it's also super funny. If you haven't seen this show, even though it's canceled, go watch the 2 seasons. It's such a fantastic show. I'm so bummed that they're not going to do a 3rd season, because of course season 2 ends on a pretty interesting note, and I would have loved to see how it played out, but now, unfortunately, we don't get that, and that sucks. It's so bad. It's so bad. Alright, what else we got? We got the new trailer for The Secret Life of Pets 2, so check that one out. We also have a trailer for The Highwaymen, starring Woody Harrelson, so check out that trailer. In some pretty interesting news, this was a really big story, came out a couple days ago. Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself, is set to play... Well, let me tell you something, brother. Chris Hemsworth, brother, is going to play Hulk Hogan. That's right, a Hulk Hogan biopic film directed by Todd Phillips for Netflix, with Chris Hemsworth playing the Hulkster, talking about Hulkamania, brother. Wow. This is pretty damn awesome. I love Chris Hemsworth. I love Hulk Hogan. I love wrestling. And this sounds like a great thing here. I can't wait to see a Todd Phillips directed Hulk Hogan movie with Chris Hemsworth on Netflix. Wow. Never saw that coming in a million years. So good on them. Let Him Go is another new film that's being put together. Kevin Costner and Diane Lane are set to star in the suspense thriller. Legendary is teaming up with the Now You See Me writers for a new Oz television show. Idris Elba is heading to Saturday Night Live for his hosting debut in a couple weeks. Atlanta's Brian Tyree Henry is in talks for They Clone Tyrone. Ramon Rodriguez has joined a new NBC drama pilot called Prism. Gerard McCurry is set to write and direct Michael B. Jordan thriller set to be titled The Silver Bear. Amy Poehler is set to direct Netflix's new coming-of-age film called Moxie. Gotham Season 5, the complete series Blu-ray, will be released in June. I'm currently watching Season 5 of Gotham, actually, and it's really good. So, this is a show that I have a love-hate relationship with. I was totally in on Season 1, dropped out of Season 2 about halfway through, totally missed Season 3 and 4, and then heard a lot of good things about how 4 wrapped up, so I jumped in now for Season 5 because it's the last season, and I'm really digging this season. It's pretty wacky and crazy, and I'm totally down. So I will probably go back and kind of catch up and revisit the other stuff after the show ends. How to Make Love to a Black Woman pilot has been ordered over on Showtime. That is the Lena Waithe produced comedy pilot. We already talked about Night Flyers being canceled. That's George R.R. Martin's Night Flyers, canceled over on Sci-Fi. The new show Utopia has added Rainn Wilson to the cast. That's going to be a new Amazon thriller series. Mary Poppins Returns is set for a March home video release date. We have everything coming and going Netflix in March. Let's see. Boom. Daniel Craig is reportedly set to star in Todd Field's The Creed of Violence. That's right. So that is the rumor. It looks like he's signing on, but it's not confirmed yet. But it looks like that'll be Daniel Craig's next project. Teen Wolf star Tyler Posey has joined the Twilight director as they're going to do the new CW vampire pilot for the reboot of Lost Boys. Yes, that Lost Boys are redoing it. The first Captain Marvel reactions are in, and everybody seems to really be loving this movie, man. I'm seeing some great reviews all the way across the board. Marvel has done it again. Sounds like Brie Larson is incredible. I'm stoked, man. I already got my tickets for opening night in IMAX. I am ready to go March 8th. I'm ready to go again March 9th and take my daughter and my wife to go see it. Let's do this, man. Captain Marvel, baby. Silicon Valley's Zach Woods has been cast opposite Hugh Laurie in the new sci-fi comedy pilot Avenue 5 that'll be coming to HBO. Criminal Minds' Rachel Lee Cook has joined on for the final season. She's going to be playing a love interest to somebody. We have Everything Wrong with Forrest Gump in 16 minutes or less. We have the trailer for Palms. We have the new first full trailer for Rocket Man. Space Jam 2 has been given an official release date for 2021. Tomasin Harcourt, Mackenzie, and Matt Smith have joined the movie Last Night in Soho. Charlize Theron and Kiki Lane have joined Netflix's Old Guard. Michael B. Jordan is set to star in Denzel Washington's new drama, Journal for Jordan. Rick Famuyiwa is attached to helm The Children of Blood and Bone. He'll be adapting that book. Skylar Astin has been cast in the new NBC pilot Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Evermore. Andrew Cosby is set to showrun the new sci-fi steampunk series. Jason Clarke says that Stephen King is okay with the changes that they have made in the Pet Sematary remake. Reese Witherspoon is teaming with the Starz Network for a new family drama. Universal Pictures has announced Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Wow! Okay, say that 5 times fast. Screen Gems is developing a Bunny Lake is Missing remake. Director Otto Bathurst is set to helm the Halo series over on Showtime. So glad to see that's back on track with a new director. Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House has been renewed for season 2. And there's some other news with The Haunting of Hill House, actually. It looks like they're going to go the anthology series way with that show to be kind of like American Horror Story. So season 2 will be The Haunting of Bly Manor. So I like it. I like that they're going to go anthology-wise because it just keeps it fresh instead of dealing with the same family, the same haunted house. You got to do something different each season, and I like that switch up. Netflix's The Devil All the Time has added Jason Clarke to the cast. Utopia has also landed Dan Bird and Corey Michael Smith as co-stars to join Rainn Wilson. Keely Sanchez has also joined the CW's Lost Boys remake. The Chinese blockbuster The Wandering Earth has been acquired by Netflix, so that's how the rest of us will be able to see this amazing big Chinese blockbuster movie that's like the biggest movie ever in China. I'm glad to see Netflix swoop it up. The Walking Dead has returned and it's hit a all-time low in the ratings, but it's still actually the highest cable drama on television. So even though it's sucking, it's still doing good. Very interesting, man. Only The Walking Dead can pull off something like that. We got a pretty interesting interview with Alan Horn on the Fox merger, Star Wars, and their streaming service. So check out that article if you want some more on the Disney side of things. Captain Marvel is soaring past Wonder Woman and Aquaman in advanced ticket sales, so that's supposed to be doing really, really well. We have the first trailer for Jordan Peele's The Twilight Zone, so check out that. I'm excited, man. I'm very excited for Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone. Sylvester Stallone is set to star in MGM's new film Samaritan, which is being called a dark superhero film. So pretty interesting. I'm down to see what that turns out to be for sure. Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn are dirty cops in Dragged Across Concrete, and we have the first trailer for that, so check it out. Katie Lotz, who plays White Canary, is set to be returning to Arrow for a new Birds of Prey inspired episode. Brooke Shields is joining the CW's Glamorous pilot, with Eva Longoria directing. TNT has decided to pull Jesse Smollett's Drop the Mic episode following the actor's arrest. So they just don't want to, they said they don't want to draw any more attention to it, and they're going to move away from it, so that episode has been scrapped. We have the casting announcements for the new Lifetime movie based on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the Royal Wedding sequel. So check that out if you are interested. We have Angry Birds 2 teaser trailer. We have the trailer for Her Smell, the trailer for The Kid. So check out all of those. Yorgos Lanthimos is set to helm Pop 1280 adaptation. The Peter Rabbit sequel is going to add David Oyelowo. Firefly Lane is a new film being put together by Netflix, and they have ordered the Maggie Friedman drama series adaptation, Firefly Lane. Amy Smart has joined DC Universe's Stargirl series. She's going to actually play Stargirl's mom. In other casting news, Luke Wilson has joined Zombieland Double Tap in a new role, so that's pretty awesome. CBS has renewed Young Sheldon for 2 more additional seasons. Natalie Dormer is set to star in the new Petty Dreadful City of Angels spinoff. A Quiet Place sequel release date has been set for 2020, so it's coming. Shh, Quiet Place. Ryan Murphy's new series Hollywood is starting production this summer. Netflix has announced the full Altered Carbon Season 2 cast with Anthony Mackie taking over the lead. Hey, I loved Altered... why can't say this all of a sudden? Altered Carbon. I loved Season 1 over on Netflix. It is one of the greatest sci-fi shows I've seen in ever. And it was one of my favorite shows of last year. So I'm so glad it's coming back. We'll see. You know, I really love Joel Kinnaman in the main role first season. I like Anthony Mackie. We'll see. He's playing the same character, and we'll see how it goes in season 2 with them switching up the casting. But I really can't wait to see Altered Carbon season 2. We have the trailer for Barry season 2. Check that out. Avenue 5 has also added Josh Gad to the HBO space comedy pilot. American Gods Season 2 teaser, you can check that out right now as well. The CW's Katie Keene pilot has added Johnny Beauchamp and Julia Chan. We have some set photos of Harley Quinn and Huntress from the Birds of Prey movie. Cara Patterson has been cast in the lead role of Patty's Auto. Seth Gordon is set to direct the Bone Collector pilot for NBC. NBC has also enlisted Adam Pally and Abby Elliott for a new comedy series called Uninsured. Kevin Feige, our good old buddy Kevin Feige from the MCU Marvel Universe, has confirmed that Black Widow was never going to be an R-rated film, and it will not be R-rated. Thank you, Kevin, for confirming something that I've been trying to tell everybody, that there was no effing way was ever going to be rated R. The MCU is a Disney product, and they are not doing R-rated films, and they wouldn't start with a Black Widow R-rated film when she's been in every movie since Iron Man 2. It just doesn't make any sense. So thank you for proving and confirming something that everybody should have understood and really never doubted in the first place. If they're ever going to do an R-rated film, it's going to be Deadpool or X-Force. They're not going to do it with a beloved MCU character that's been around for multiple films in PG-13 format. John Krasinski has been confirmed as directing a Quiet Place sequel. So he is coming back. There was a lot of speculation he wasn't going to direct the sequel, but now he is back. He will direct it, and Emily Blunt will also return for the sequel. Wynonna Earp, the future of the show is in limbo, as reports of insufficient funding have come out. So yeah, they can't even move on with the show because they got no more money. Malik Yoba is set to reprise his starring role in ABC's New York Undercover revival that they're doing. Psych vet Maggie Lawson is set to star in the new Fox family comedy pilot Geniuses. Jamie Kamel-led sitcom from Jane creator has landed a pilot order over at CBS. Neil Jackson has also been cast in Stargirl over in the DC Universe. Luke Cage's Simone Missick is also joined the Altered Carbon Season 2 cast. So welcome Misty Knight to a really cool show. Veronica Mars, the revival that's coming to Hulu. 2 of her foes are returning for the Hulu revival as well. I won't spoil it for you, but the article is available if you want to see who's coming for her. Kevin Feige has also confirmed that they will use James Gunn's script for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So good to have that confirmation from James Gunn himself. I love that. The Kingsman prequel movie will come out next February, and the new Ryan Reynolds Free Guy movie will land in summer of 2020 as well. Michael Morris is set to direct the first 2 episodes of Lock and Key for Netflix. Holmes and Watson has been named the worst picture at the 2019 Razzies. I can understand that one. I might actually agree with the Razzies at this point. Tessa Thompson and Nnamdi Asomugha have signed on for the new love drama Sylvie. We have the first footage from the Deadwood revival. You can check that out, as long as also with the first teaser for Game of Thrones, the final season. A lot of people have been waiting for that one. We also have the teaser trailer for His Dark Materials. That has the first looks at James McAvoy, Ruth Wilson, and Lin-Manuel Miranda. So yeah, I've heard a lot about His Dark Materials, so check out that teaser trailer there. Yeah, I'm excited. All right, going back to new trailers. We have the first trailer for The Man Who Killed Don Quixote. You can check that out. We also have the first teaser trailer for The Irishman. It's a stretch to even call this a teaser. It shows nothing but a bullet dropping, who's in the movie, with some audio in the background. So a pretty whack teaser trailer. They've also been advertising that a new TV spot of The Jungle Book not The Jungle Book, but of Lion King came out during the Oscars last night. It's basically just the teaser trailer. It's exactly the same. No new footage. It was pretty whack. I don't even know why they're advertising it as something new, because it is not. Jimmy Smits has joined a new NBC drama pilot called Bluff City Law. Kevin Smith shared a photo today that they've started filming Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, and pretty cool to see the gang back together. Can't wait for that. Elizabeth Anwis has joined the CW's Batwoman as Kate Kane's stepmother. Warner Brothers is developing a Gremlins animated series for its new streaming service. Amazon's The Expanse has added some new roles for Season 4. They've added Rosa Gilmore, Keon Alexander, and Jess Salguero as season regulars for the new season 4 of The Expanse. The Oscar ratings have gone up. People watched more this year than any other year in the past that actually had a host. So pretty interesting there. J.J. Abrams says that Episode 9 of Star Wars was not affected by the response to The Last Jedi. He says it didn't let him affect it at all, so that's pretty good. Kevin Feige says that the Eternals will be introduced Guardians of the Galaxy style, so that makes me happy because it sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. Alita Battle Angel has a record-breaking $62 million debut in China, so fantastic. Give it that money. Give me that money. Give me that money so I can get Alita 2. I want it. Colby Smulders is set to star as a private eye in the new ABC drama pilot Stumptown. Life in Pieces finally gets a season 4 premiere date. I love this show. It hasn't been on the air in almost a year. It will finally debut over on CBS in April, so it's about damn time. Kim Cattrall is set to star in a new soapy family drama pilot called Filthy Rich that'll be on Fox. So very cool there. When I posted this news earlier today, Kim Cattrall herself actually liked my tweet. So shout out to my good friend Kim Cattrall. Thank you so much for liking the tweet. And that, my friends, excuse me, is the news of the last week. So there you go. We ran a little bit longer, but we're still in that nice 45-minute sweet spot. So let's talk box office and release dates, why don't we? And we'll start closing this baby up. So, coming out, like I said, on DVD, actually tomorrow, if my computer will respond, on DVD and Blu-ray tomorrow, Tuesday, February 26th, will be Ralph Breaks the Internet, The Possession of Hannah Grace, and Mary, Queen of Scots. In theaters this week, on Friday, will be Tyler Perry's A Medea Family Funeral and the movie Greta. And here's your weekend box office. Top 10. Coming in number 10, it's Run the Race with 2.3 mil. Number 9 is The Upside with 3.2 million. Number 8 is Cold Pursuit with 3.3. Number 7 is Happy Death Day to You with 5 mil. Number 6 is What Men Want with 5.2. Number 5 is Isn't It Romantic with 7.5. Number 4 is Fighting With My Family with 8 million. Number 3 is Lego Movie 2, the second part, with 10 mil. Number 2 is Alita Battle Angel with 12 million. And number 1, in its debut, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, with $55.5 million. Also a franchise best. That's how you do it, man. Most of the time, by the time you get to the third movie, it is not making more money than the other two. But How to Train Your Dragon did it. 55.5 mil. Franchise record for that. And very well deserved. So that is your box office. And with that, my friends, that is the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining me on this little adventure, as we always do every Monday night. And we'll be back again next weekend to talk another week worth of news. I don't know if I'll get to the movies this weekend. There's not really much playing. Nothing new really comes out. Maybe I'll just go check out Happy Death Day to You. That's the only one kind of lingering that I need to catch up on. But nonetheless, there's always going to be news to discuss. So let's do some shout outs. Like I said, follow us on Twitter at Am I On The Air. You can follow me on Twitter at DXDonMega. Or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Am I On The Air. Our official webpage is amiontheair.com. You can listen to the show on iTunes. Yes, we're available on iTunes. Download, rate, and subscribe, please. If iTunes ain't your thing, you can get us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play Podcast, Google Podcast, I mean. We are on Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn, all over the interwebs. Listen to us there. YouTube.com/Am I On The Air. Instagram at Am I On The Air. And our great affiliates over at RedDragonsRadio.com. We're always streaming on demand over on the Red Dragons Radio website. Thank you so much for hosting us and pimping us out as always too. Follow on Twitter at Red Dragons Radio. And like I said, download the Stardust app and follow me at Don Mega, DONMEGA, and watch my 30-second mini reviews for movies, TVs, trailers, the whole nine. And that will do it, my friends. Have a great week. I hope it's a good one for everybody out there. Stay healthy, happy, safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, y'all. Peace!
Bye, everybody. Red Dragon. Red Dragon.